What is up, people? I have a video for you today, and it's gonna be a commentary about the triggering, which is a social event or thing, whatever, that happened March 9th. And I'm gonna explain what it is if you don't know. Some of you may know what it is already, I'm not sure. This video though, I want to do in the style of a cut commentary. Never really done a cut commentary before, but I'm gonna do it for this video because I feel like this might be kind of a long video, so I don't want it to drag on too long, so I'm going to chop it up a bit. But I've never done a cut commentary before, so if I mess this up, I am so... Now, the triggering is a social event meant for speaking out against censorship and for advocating free speech. Now, the First Amendment in the United States and in Canada says that we have the right to express ourselves however we want to. We are free and open to express ourselves, and that's including verbally, artistically, however we want. We have the right to do that. Now, our right to free speech doesn't mean that you can just go and be an ass to people. You have to know the difference between voicing your opinion and harassing someone, because sometimes the line is very thin. And hate speech, which a lot of people think should be censored, it is within the Constitution of the First Amendment, but what they call fight words aren't. For example, you can't just go up to Beth and be like, "Beth, you're a slutty whore," because that comes across as an attack. It can be easily considered harassment or verbal abuse. It could potentially start a fight with Beth, which clearly wouldn't be okay. However, if you were to say something like, "Beth, I think you're a slutty whore because you brag about sleeping with lots of men," then you're literally just sharing your opinion and you have a reason to back it up, and it's not just a mere personal attack on Skanky Beth. So you have to know what the difference here is, free speech and verbal abuse or fight words. You also have to know the difference between free speech and censorship. I mean, free speech doesn't give you the right or anybody the right to tell somebody else to shut up because you don't like what they're saying. You know what I mean? You can't censor somebody else. You don't have the freedom of speech to censor somebody else because you don't like what they're saying or what they're doing or what they're depicting or anything like that. That's not within the Constitution of free speech. Now, the real issue here, though, is that all of these left-wing activists are constantly being offended over things that literally are not even offensive. And this has to do with certain words and their meanings, their definitions being so diluted to the point where even the most minuscule things can resort in a backlash of being accused of being something that they aren't. For example, some of you might know or remember this guy. His name is Dr. Matt Taylor. He's a scientist who works for the European Space Agency, and he wore the shirt that you see in this picture. Now, at a conference that was held where he spoke out, was speaking about the Rosetta mission, which, if I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly, but I believe it had something to do with landing a probe on a comet or some shit like that. But anyways, Matt was blasted by radical feminists and labeled a sexist and a misogynist because of his shirt. And these left-wing activists all made this guy feel like such a pile of shit for wearing that shirt that he felt the need to make a public apology for it. And he was so upset about it that he even cried. Is that justice? I mean, is that social and political justice? Making a man cry because of a shirt that he wore that has pictures of women on it? I mean, what the fuck is so offensive about a shirt with women on it? Like, seriously, nothing. This guy literally, he's free to wear whatever shirt he wants. Yet, just because the shirt offended a bunch of insecure activists, he's forced to apologize for wearing it? That's bullshit. That's utter bullshit. Bullshit! Wearing a shirt does not make someone a misogynist or a sexist. It doesn't even matter if the shirt could say, "I'm a misogynist and a sexist." It still doesn't mean that that person is a misogynist and a sexist. That's not how things work. You have to literally do something misogynistic or say something misogynistic or do something sexist or say something sexist to actually be one of those things. Wearing a shirt doesn't make you one of those things. By definition, it doesn't. Yet, that's how these left-wingers see it. This was nothing but censorship, and they took away Matt Taylor's First Amendment right to express himself. He liked that shirt. He wanted to wear that shirt. That shirt was bought for him by a woman, okay? And he wore it. He liked the shirt, and he was blasted for it. Another example was this comic book cover that got a lot of heat because it showcases a woman as a victim at the hands of a man. Now, the artist's name is Raphael Albuquerque, and after a backlash from feminists and SJWs who repeatedly called him a misogynist and a sexist, Raphael decided to pull this cover and not run it. That's just more censorship. Why should he pull a cover off the shelves just because it triggers some overly sensitive people? As an artist in America, Raphael has the right to draw whatever the hell he wants, and no one is in any position to make him change it. Yet these left-wing extremists are doing just that because they deem it offensive. Besides, drawing a woman in a helpless position does not automatically make a person a misogynist or a sexist. Now, if at some point Raphael stated something like, yeah, I drew it that way because we all know women are weak and they'll always be victims in real life, then yeah, that's a sexist and misogynist thing to say. But he didn't say anything like that. He doesn't feel that way. He does not hate women. He doesn't think men are above women. This is a specific part of the story that he depicted in an art form. He simply drew it. It doesn't make him a misogynist or a sexist. The triggering is meant for people to be able to say things that are absolutely normal, yet would otherwise get a bunch of grief and backlash from these left-wingers. You're not a sexist if you draw a female as a victim, okay? You're not a racist if you write a script with no black people in it. You're not a misogynist if you beat up hookers in GTA, and you can't rape women just by looking at her. You also aren't wrong or insensitive if you state that only two genders truly exist. Social justice warriors, feminists, PC activists, left-wingers, whatever you want to call them, they're trying to censor us. They're trying to take away our right to free speech, our right to express ourselves openly and without repercussion. And they have every right to be offended at all of these things, but they do not have the right to try and put a stop to it. Now, many of them claim that they're trying to make the internet a safer space so people can enjoy it without getting offended. And I'm sorry, but we have the right to express ourselves, and you don't have the right to not be offended. That is not a right. If you don't like something, don't watch it, don't listen, don't read, don't click, don't share. There's a back button, there's a scroll wheel, there are also block options on every social media website, so there's absolutely no excuse for any type of censorship. Now, the Triggering 2016 marked the beginning of an annual event where right-wing activists will speak out against censorship and continue to advocate for our right to speak our minds and express ourselves freely. So that's pretty much it for this video. I feel like the Triggering, the first annual Triggering, was a success. There was a few people who took it too far and were just completely being assholes, and that's not what this is about. This is about being able to speak your mind, say what's on your mind, and not be labeled something that you're not. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got for this video. So if you have anything to say, if you have anything to add, leave it in the comments below. Right down there. Fuck! But that's it. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys, don't get offended at stuff like this, because you really shouldn't. You should be able to, accept other people's opinions and their frame of mind and their thoughts and their beliefs, and not be a total dick about it. If it offends you, don't listen to it. Don't click it. Don't watch it. I mean, just go away. You don't have to try to change people to suit your own feelings. So that's basically it. I hope I didn't butcher this video too much. Maybe I did. I have no idea. Let me know what you guys think of the editing. If this is really bad, I won't do this again. But if I did a good job, let me know. And maybe I'll do videos like this more often if you enjoyed it. But other than that, I'm wrapping it up here. Thanks a lot for watching, villains. I'm Vile Self. Until next time, later.